pissing it down outside and it's steaming away, but we're gonna roll, we're gonna do the video. So in this video, I wanna talk about consistency, because in all honesty, this is probably the reason why you can't lose fat. I actually can't turn around here. But yeah, your consistency is going to be the reason why you can't lose body fat. And I'm going to tell you why, but I'm going to tell you why in a different way, because what happens most of the time is coaches and people will preach about consistency. Oh, I need to stay consistent. Oh, you need to stay consistent. But what is consistency? What is it? Like, do people actually know what that means? So when I tell somebody, oh yeah, you just need to stay consistent, do you actually know what that means? Like, really? Do you? Or is it just a term that people just throw out there all the time? Oh, you need to stay consistent. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to explain why. So there's 3 reasons, in my opinion. There's 3 reasons why you can't lose fat, and there's 3 reasons why you can't stay consistent. And the first one is that, do you actually know what it takes to lose fat? Do you actually know how to lose fat? You know, on a basic level, like we all do. You know, if your dog or if your cat or your hamster, whatever pet you have, whatever pet you like, if that pet gains a load of weight, right, what do? Well, you feed it less, and well, in a dog sense, you walk it more. Your dog loses weight, it's because you feed it less and you walk it more, right? So it's the same thing with humans. Everyone knows this, right? So everyone knows how to lose fat. Everybody knows the process of losing fat, even if it's on a basic, simple level. But what people don't know is how to do it themselves, okay? How many times do you need to go to the gym? How much cardio do you need to do? How many meals a day do you need to have? How many calories do you need to have each day? That's what people don't know. So that's the first reason why they can't stay consistent. Somebody says, go and be consistent, and they're like, well, how? I don't know what to do. So the easiest way to do this is to learn, you know, just like you learn anything. You want to learn how to drive, you go and practice driving. You want to learn how to get better at a video game, you play that video game more. You do that, you try, your skills will get better the more that you do it, okay? It's the same with trying to lose fat. It's the same with trying to work on your fitness. You know, you want to be able to practice, okay? So what can you do? The first thing you can do is actually hire a coach to help you, because they are going to help you. They're going to help you learn the knowledge that you need to learn to lose fat, to reach your goals. And they're also going to give you the tools. A good coach anyway will give you the tools and will teach you how to stay consistent, how to work this around your life, okay? Now, if you don't want to get a coach, you probably should. But if you don't want to get a coach, you can learn this stuff online too. It's just going to take you a lot longer. You can do your own research. There's plenty of resources on YouTube, watching videos like this. You can loads of content on my page for you as well that can help you. And you can learn step by step. You can learn to find out how many calories you need. I've done a video on that. You can learn what kind of foods you need to implement into your life to help you lose fat and make it easier for you. I've done a video on that. There's videos on training, how to build muscle so that when you lose the fat, you can look good. I've done a video on that. You know, there's lots of different information you can find online and you can apply it into your life. And that's the first reason why people can't really stay consistent. They don't really know how, you know? There's no point in people saying, go and be consistent. You need to stay consistent. You need to do this when you don't know how to stay consistent in the first place, right? So that's reason number 1. Now, reason number 2 is you know how to lose body fat, right? You know the process of it. You know how it works. You've been taught the calorie deficit and everything like that, but you don't know how to fit it into your own life, right? You might have watched some fitness influencer online. You might have had a bad coach in the past. You might have watched a lot of YouTube videos, etc., etc. And you just don't know how to put it in your life. You know you need to go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. You know you need to eat in a calorie deficit. You know you need to eat 1 pound per gram of body weight in protein per your body weight, blah, 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 whatever. But you don't know how to put this in your life. A lot of the guys, this is important, because a lot of the guys that I work with, they live in the city centre. They've got busy, fast-paced lives, right? And they know the process. They know how to lose fat. They know what they need to do, but it's fitting it into their life, because you step out your door, there's a bloody bar 2 minutes down the road. You know, what's going on here? You know, there's a takeaway on the corner. You know, a busy day in the office. You nip downstairs out the building. There's a bloody beer garden with people out there in the summer, and then next door there's a bloody Mackey's or a takeaway that you can get loads of nice food from. So it's about how can you implement fat loss? How can you implement the strategies into your life to help you out? There's no point in saying stick with your calories, stick with your nutrition, and be more consistent. Well, it's like, how? Let me give you an example. Well, your trigger for not being able to stay consistent might be you have a super busy, stressful day at work. You come home and you cannot be asked to cook any food and cook a healthy meal. Can't be asked. You just want to sit on the sofa, decompress and chill after a shitty day at work, right? That might be your trigger to order in food. And that might be your trigger to not stay consistent, right? And yes, to a degree, someone saying be more consistent and tell you to basically go and make the meal anyway, yeah, there's an element of that. But as a coach, what I would look into is, okay, that's the trigger. I'd ask you, we dig a bit deeper. Why can't you stay consistent? Oh, well, every time I have a stressful day at work, I can't be bothered to cook any food. And then I end up ordering a Mackey's or ordering a takeaway and going off my diet, right? So we can take that information and we can say, okay, this is a trigger for you. Now we want to fit this into your life. So what can we do about that? Okay, well, based on what you're saying here, one way we could do it is that if you know that every time you have a stressful, busy day, you're going to end up ordering food, is one, have food prepared already, okay? Do some meal prep, have some healthy meals prepared, or even if you've got the little protein microwave meals you get from the shop, you've got a fail-safe in your fridge or in your freezer, let me through, ready for you on them days when you really can't be asked to cook, right? So then in that sense, you give yourself one less excuse, right? Now you come home from your stressful day at work, you get home, instead of thinking, shit, can't be asked to cook, I'm gonna order in a takeaway, you literally open the freezer, pull out the meal and put it in the microwave and you're good. Or you pull out your meal prep, you put it in the microwave and you're good, right? There you go. That's a way to make consistency work with your life. Have a system in place that works around your life. The second one could be with your training, right? And when you're training in the gym, you might find that every time you come home after work and you get home after work after your day, you intend to go to the gym, but as soon as you sit down on that sofa, you can't be asked. You fall asleep, you get tired, and then you never actually end up going to the gym, right? That's another example. What you could do here, as a coach, I'd take that information, Will, I can't do it. I get home, I'm too sleepy, I'm too tired. And it's like, right, okay, well, here's what you could do. Instead of going home straight after work and sitting down on the sofa where you are going to get tired and you're not going to be asked to go to the gym, instead, what you can do is you could bring your gym gear with you to work, right? And the second you finish work, I'm gonna nip in here, I'm just gonna be a little bit of a dickhead, right? The second you finish work, you go straight to the gym and you get your session in. Forget going home first and chilling out for a bit, you go straight to the gym first. That eliminates that trigger that stops you from being consistent in the first place. Yeah? Hope you're following on here. But that's what a good coach will do. And that's what I would like to do with my clients is we want to dig that little bit deeper before just saying, be more consistent, be more consistent, be more consistent. Okay, why can't you be consistent? Because this and this. Okay, based off this, let's do this. Yeah? That's what I'm kind of getting at. And this is stuff you can break down yourself. Think about it. Why can't you stay consistent with this diet? Do you get too hungry? Okay, let's look at the foods you're eating. Can we implement more low calorie dense foods and more protein to help fill you up, right? I can't get my sessions in. Okay, let's look at your program. Are you trying to train like a professional bodybuilder 6 times a week when you work 60 hours a week in your careers? Okay, let's cut it down to 3 so you can be more consistent then. Yeah, so this is the stuff we're kind of looking at. Make it fit around your life, right? You can't be consistent because your program doesn't work around your life and you don't know how to structure things around your life. I'm rambling here, I know. The last point that I'm going to make is something that does need to be talked about because, again, this is another thing that a lot of coaches will just throw into the air, right? And that is that you don't want it bad enough. You don't want it bad enough. You don't want it bad enough. Right. And I don't really like the saying. I don't really like it because on a level, there's definitely loads of other reasons why people can't stay consistent and they can't do it. Reasons being that I've given before in point 1 and point 2 and don't know how to, or they simply don't know how to, or they simply don't know how to work it around their life, right? But the next point that I want to make is there is an element of, do you want it bad enough as well for yourself? Because let's say you do know what calorie deficit is and you do know how to track your calories, you do know how to get to the gym, and you do know how to train, and you still can't lose body fat, then you need to have another little deep dive and another little think into why this might be, right? Now, what you might find is that, oh, I need to let my hair down at the weekends because I get super stressed with work. Or, oh, I need to treat myself every now and again. I need to have a takeaway every now and again. And any little inconvenience or any little point of stress where you're under a little bit of discomfort is when you end up cheating on your diets, you know? Like, if you want to lose body fat, there is still going to have to be some level of restriction that is needed for you to do so. It's not just going to happen like that. It's not just going to happen straight away without any effort. You can't just hire a coach. You can't just start a new program and it just happens. Like, for it to work, you have to work as well, okay? Now, this means what people think about, talk about balance, talk about, I need to live my life, and yes, to a degree, you have work events, you have social occasions, you have partners, you need date nights. There is ways to fit your program in around that, okay? But on a basic level as well, you need to be prepared to give up some shit. You need to be prepared to have some sacrifice, because that's what's going to be required for you to change, you know? If nothing is changing right now, the way you're doing things, then for you to change, something has to change. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something to change. So if you're not changing now, then you have to change. Something has to change for you to change, okay? And that might be, maybe you don't let your hair down at the weekends, you know, because you need a de-stressor, because you need it to make you feel happier after a week of work. Maybe you don't go out and get smashed, right? Maybe that Friday night takeaway you get, maybe that needs to go away because you need to stick to your calories instead, because you need to stay in a deficit. Maybe them drinks after work, maybe you can hold off on them. Maybe you don't need to have a pint or 2 or 3 or 4 with your mates after work on a Thursday in the beer garden. Maybe you don't need to do that because you actually want to lose fat, because you're making a promise to yourself here that you want to lose fat, you want to make a change, you want to look better. And what's more important to you? A couple of pints, the takeaway at the weekend, the going out because you need to decompress and enjoy your social life? Or is it losing fat? It's not going to be forever, is it? It's just while you're losing body fat. Like, you have to be prepared to make these sacrifices. So then that's when the question of, do you actually want this? Like, are you actually prepared to do what it takes to achieve this comes into play? And I know it's a pretty wanky thing for coaches to throw around, you just want it badly enough, but there has to be some context behind it, right? And the context in this case is like, yes, there still is some sacrifice required, even if you've got the right systems in place, even if you have the right structure, the right program, the right nutritional protocols, there still has to be some element of sacrifice in there. Anyway, that is my take why people can't stay consistent with their diets, and a little bit of insight into, as a coach, what I would do if this was you and you were struggling with consistency, and how to help you stay more consistent rather than just throwing it in your face and saying, go and be more consistent, right? Anyways, I have got plenty more content on my channel. If you want to watch it, drop me a subscribe, go and watch some more content, go and watch some more videos. If you've got any questions, just drop me a message. My Instagram is in the bio. Drop me a message. I'm more than happy to help you out. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.